My Gavan and Melanine, and well met indeed. I am Arakia Gala-Durthan, the head of the modding team behind Divide and Conquer, and welcome back to Divide and Conquer as we continue on as Angmar. And we continue on at a point where our very future now hangs in the balance. The army coming from the north, under our General Huskash. We are sending that west in order at the moment to take Fornost Rhine, but the suggestion that I have been given is that perhaps I should take a Numenas instead, and I must confess that that's probably actually a much better idea. The army is almost certainly going to be needed to... Well, almost certainly. Of course it's going to be needed. Look at that. The army is going to, first of all, have to kill Ranger Captain Brannian the Fat in order to reclaim Bardi Donionach. And then we can conceivably... Sorry, I just smashed my water bottle into the desk. Then we can consider moving him around to Anunas or Fornos, but at the moment we can't worry about that. Our agents are knocking around, doing what they can, but we do have a gentleman standing by to take Ostgalon, and the reason our diplomat is here is because as soon as we have Ostgalon, we're going to try and give it to the Valesmen. So it's a race against time to get that town before the reinforcements can get back to it. And then we can shut the elves out. We don't have to worry about them. But I believe we're at an end turn. I should also just say, I did completely forget that there was an army in Shadoon. I totally forgot that. But, as was pointed out to me in the last episode, which I've now forgotten, the dwarves and the Vale of Anduin are now only a stone's throw away from us. And we may need that army to defend our homelands. However, as we are losing a considerable amount of money, mostly from this army, we should perhaps move it out. So, we'll take out at least what we can take out. Well, first of all, let's send some things over to... We'll leave the garrison behind as those two Snager. I want to keep...
ready for fighting.
You four...
Come on!
Oh, I haven't moved just quicker. You four are going to stay in there and at least get free upkeep from there.
Get ready for fighting.
I'll take you two along with the army. So you catch up to that in a moment. I'll take some Snaggers off your hands. Oh, we'll move them off at the end of the next turn. So then the remainder of you, if I can take you four Snagger and send you to that fort.
Objective complete.
Then that should cover us. Litash, what's your free upkeep? 2 free from that, 1 free from that. Everyone can train Snagger. So at least this will separate our force, see us get a bit more money. I'm going to end the turn. 2 things to briefly mention. First is that I have attempted to soften any noises that you might hear from me knocking the desk in any way by placing, very simply, a very soft, squishy mat underneath the microphone. And secondly, modding. I have some information for you. I did do a little bit of modding on Saturday, nothing too severe, but the Elite Dwarf has finally compiled and completed his resources, and they've gone into our Dropbox build, so I've had the privilege, nay, the pleasure of looking over those on the campaign map, and I am very pleased with the result. What on earth are they doing there? Very pleased indeed. So, you won't see them in any of these campaigns, of course. It'll need to be in the next campaigns, but the next overview video next weekend, you will see the upgraded settlements, or the upgraded resource icons on the map. So that's very cool. So that's something to look forward to.
Get ready for fighting. No sleeping here.
I'm not sure I can really wait. You might just have to go in pairs. So you lead that army, and so that it doesn't bribe away or anything.
No sleeping here.
I've name dropped bribing, and I'll build on that. I've done some changes which I believe theoretically should remove bribery. Now there was some call that this maybe shouldn't take place.
Kill them all.
This is going to be a great victory. We're going to take it, destroy everything, sell it to the Vale of Anduin, and run away. But I've tried to remove bribery. And this is because whilst there are some situations in which some people are bribed, there's an extent to which you could say, of course, I've spoken of this before, but I'll speak of it again. Grima Wormtongue used to be a loyal servant of Rohan before he served Saruman. And he is taken, not by Saruman, he is taken by the promise of wealth. But he's not really, is he? Saruman's power is mostly said to be the power of his voice. He's a persuasive bugger, and that's kind of his thing, if you will. So there's as much argument to say that Grima has gone for the promise of wealth as much as he has gone because Saruman is just that persuasive. And I am inclined to believe it's the latter. So basically I'm just suggesting that there's an awful lot of evidence to suggest that no, bribery just wouldn't happen. And this is kind of also like the elf lifespan gameplay. What word do I want to use? I can't think of what I want to say. But as you all know, elves are immortal, but humans aren't. And in Divide and Conquer, or in Medieval 2 Total War, you can't have characters that live forever. They have to die at some point. Or, as I've said before, either every character lives forever, or every character has to die at some point. And so, in light of the fact that elves are actually quite a minority in Middle-earth, we opted for, or Third Age, and then every other submod after it, opted for everyone to die, rather than everyone to live forever. And it's kind of that same thing. Like, an orc would never, ever be bribed to fight for any of the free peoples. Now, you could say that there might be some dwarves and some humans and whatnot that would be bribed to fight for the bad forces, but more often than not, the bribery in the game comes from the dwarven factions bribing orcs, and like that just would never happen. And also the fact that they're getting diplomats galore by just bribing them left, right, and centre is frustrating. And further to this as well, a human, we will smash the enemy. Virtually, you never win your bribes. You almost never win a bribe if you're playing as a human character. So it's a kind of an AI almost only feature. And I can't imagine any time it's ever useful to bribe. The only time I can think it's useful to bribe is if an AI player who is your ally has a fort that you want. Because the only way to get that without declaring war on them is to bribe it off of them. And that's the only time I could think of, if I was racking my brains, of when bribery might be useful. So in light of that fact, I've done what I can to remove bribery altogether. Now, what I've done for that, actually, is that there are two parameters in one of the game's files. And it sets the minimum possible chance that bribery will happen and the maximum possible chance that bribery will happen. And I've just set both of those to be 0. Now, the only flaw with this may be that it might actually not work with the game's files. It may be hard-coded, that bribery has to be at least a little bit possible. But I don't think that is the case, because there's a lot of features that we've kind of turned off that should be in existence. Like, for example, plague, devastation. There should be heretics roaming around, spreading heresy. All these little things that have been turned off. Well done, everyone. I was never expected that to be anything but a win. So I imagine I should be able to turn off bribery. Now, the only problem it means is whilst bribery will be turned off through its % chance, it will still be an option available to the AI and to yourselves. So you can still try and bribe, it will just never be successful. But the problem with that is that the AI will then try and bribe all the time. So you'll still get the diplomats knocking around. Oh, well, that was wonderful. I should have just got loads of money for that.
Objective.
Ah, look how many of them there are. Hello, Vale of Anduin. How would you like a ceasefire, trade rights, map information, and all you need to do is accept this region. Oh, we have so few regions. What do you say to that? I tell you what, actually, even I won't even. No, I want at least something.
I do not.
Oh, come on.
I'm able to. Very well. What else do you have to suggest?
Ceasefire, trade rights. Why do you hate me so much? I haven't done anything to you other than I am allied to every enemy you've got, and I'm at war with every ally you've got. Right, how about, in case, screw all that then, I'll just gift you Oscar.
I accept
there you go.
An honour and a pleasure.
I'm not going to risk not giving it to the Vale of Anduin, so that has to happen, I'm afraid.
Get ready for fighting.
Although I would like to see if it got a garrison.
Hurry up.
Ah, bugger, it didn't. But it's 25% Northmen, and that's your culture. Oh, it's because there's no buildings there. Oh, idiot, I should have left at least one building. Oh, they don't use the same buildings that the elves do. It wouldn't have mattered. We would not have been able to give it units unless there was
my enemy.
Baluster range.
Attack!
Oh, Brannian, you idiot. You absolute fool. Why have you just abandoned... What on earth has just happened here? Oh, you've just lined yourselves up. Well, the AI is stupid, and they've moved half the army off, but only one tile away. So we can now break the siege, get our 2 generals out, because we don't want to lose 2 generals for no reason, and lose the town, and then take it back next time with a stronger army.
Stay alert.
And all he's got is rangers. Send out the orc fellas. There's no need to... In fact, just send out all the trash. There they are. We should be able to overwhelm them. They will shoot at us, though. No doubt about that. Oh... You know, I was thinking, just as I was coming to record this, that in the episode last week I was moaning about getting back late from work. But then today, as I sit here at 20 to 5 on a Monday afternoon in my dressing gown, you kind of think that maybe life's going a little bit better for you than you ought to be. And you ought not to be moaning about anything. Oh, don't run away. Stand and fight. Go on, stop at the border. No! The AI knows how to play the damn game. I do hope you all enjoyed the lore video. I had so much fun, actually. I really must confess. I had loads of fun researching the orcs and the trolls, because it's something I've always known the general possibilities, but I always assumed Tolkien did leave us with a categorical, this is what happened, like this is what I'm settling on as their creation story. I always assumed that to be the case, and as it has turned out, in fact, that's not the case. He has left it as open-ended as he left Tom Bombadil. Now, allow me, though, I know I said it a lot in the video, but do allow me to apologise for the fact that we do know nothing about Rune, Harad, Kant, and Umbar. And, like, we don't, it was more about their societies that was the point of the video.
We have completed an objective.
And, of course, I can't tell you anything about it because we just don't know anything about it. So, I do hope you all enjoyed it, and allow me as also to apologise for bloody Nvidia.
Destroy them!
Hold on, what? When did I tell you to see? Oh, well, siege it.
Is that what you want?
Yeah, go on. Might as well. Nvidia, and when you record your desktop with Nvidia, if you use the shortcut to start the recording, then it wigs out massively, and it starts recording the actual visuals, but it takes ages to kick in the sounds, and I can't understand why. But if you don't use the shortcut and you go into Nvidia GeForce, you go into Shadowplay, you open up your Shadowplay options and you click record from there, then it will record your desktop, no problem. It will just carry on the recording from there, no issues whatsoever. Everything will be fine and dandy. But using the shortcut to record the desktop results in this weird problem, which is why the images were 6 seconds behind, and why I had to record that new beginning at the beginning, which many of you may have picked up on. Obviously, there was no music playing and it was slightly quieter. And that is because that was an entirely new beginning I had to record to add on to the front of the video. But it is all at least better than losing 40 minutes of your time and having to do it all again. Because if you lose a recording and you have to record again, let me tell you, your desire levels plummet. And because everything you're saying, you know you've said before, and you're almost ticking off things you've got to say in your head. Like if somebody asked you to watch a film, and it's a film you don't really like, but you said you'll watch it with them, or maybe you just don't want to watch a film at that time. Maybe this is something that only I do, but then in my mind, because I know I don't want to watch that film, in my mind, I then go through all the things that have got to happen before the film can end. And it's kind of a bit like that. You know all the things that are coming, and you know you don't really want to see them, but you know you've got to get through them. It's just a bit like that. If others share that same theory with films.
Come on!
Right, we've got everyone in that we can. We've got as much sight range as we're going to get out there. It is at least still held by the orcs, which is good. So it's just manoeuvring now. I think we will go on to a Numenor. I think that probably is the best idea. Let's just get rid of the Northern Dunedain in the north. But then that will give us that bloody border with Linden again.
Ready. This way.
Stand next to it. What's its... 110% public order. Oh, that's good. We need to take Barketta back as well. Bari Jonionek was becoming our... Well, we can't do anything until we enter. That was becoming our staging ground. Oh, hello. I'm not going to fight that. There's no way we would have won. Let them have it. But our armies will converge. We're going to go in there with 4 generals by the looks of things. But we can't let them get this momentum. We mustn't. Monday, such a strange day. Monday's always been one of my favourite days, ever since I was a kid. But as you get older, that real life works against you, and you realise that Monday is the first day back after the weekend.
Get ready for fighting.
Not that you didn't realise that when you were a kid, but it becomes increasingly more apparent as you get older.
Listen up.
And you realise you maybe shouldn't like Mondays as much as you do.
Move.
The evil army goes. I've missed off the arc. The evil army grows. Thranduil's Halls is the target. That's a shame. Could have done with that being over here, to be honest. Linden are sodding off. That's good. Yeah, bugger off back over there. Off you go. As soon as we see a unit in there, we know that we're all right. And you've probably got a good enough army.
Come on.
Let's just go and remind the forces of... Oh, if we attack you, Captain Helogwinir.
Kill them all.
Ah, you ran away, you coward. Oh, and it's our old friend, Branny and the Fat. Cowering behind your walls, are you, sir? That won't save you now.
Ready for fight.
One thing should at least be certain in this campaign. The Dunedain are at least going to die.
Get your feet up. Objective.
That much is hopefully a given. But everything after that, who knows? Other little tweaks that we did, or that I did this Saturday certainly. Hummingbird's been doing a lot of work over the past few weeks, past few months. And there's a fix, a brilliant fix, as many of you have told me, and I need to write it on the Total War Center homepage really, but then what does that matter? No one reads it. There is a fix for Isengard. In the Isengard ring script, once you get the Nazgul and they join you in Isengard, or indeed once you've kicked off the script and Saruman has become Saruman of many colours, then all of your generals will start losing their command and gaining dread, as I'm sure many of you will be aware of. And this is a big-ish problem for us. But a user on Total War Center called Racer999, that was really silly moving them that close, Racer999, apologies for the name, he has found the flawed line of script that was causing them all to lose command. So, and he's given that to me and I've popped that in, so we'll get some testing done on that and we should make headway with that. Additionally, he's also fixed the problem whereby if you play as Isengard and you... Hold on. Are they not going to get a garrison? Oh, no, they won't. And Helogwinir's got... Oh, it's all over for Branny and he's dead now. He's also provided a fix for, if you play as Isengard and you take the ring, then you can kill Mordor by just taking all of their settlements. That is how it works. However, once you take Mordor's last settlement, the game will freeze, and he worked out where there was a problem line of scripting again, and he fixed that as well. So we're going to have some excellent fixes for 2.0 going forward. But additionally, on top of all of that, I've also now asked him to join the testing team so his work can be tested immediately. But he's told me it is very easy and very possible to make it so that Mordor can be destroyed either or. So you throw the ring into Mount Doom or you just take all of their settlements. Which I'm very, very pleased with because that is something I really would like. I think Mordor probably actually go Horde when you take their last settlement, but I'm not sure if that's going to create problems with the ring script, because I'm happy to leave them as a Horde nation, because it's essentially saying, like, what if the Free Peoples never found the ring, but they managed to destroy all of Sauron's army? It's not removed the threat, it's just dealt with it for a time. Essentially, it's exactly what happened at the War of the Last Alliance. They defeated Sauron bodily, they killed his army, but he wasn't defeated, and ergo, 3,000 years later, we're now fighting against him again, after he's ruined everyone's lives. So, it's that same sort of thing, which is good. We're going to send in the trash here, if we can. We'll keep the better units totally out of it, so let's move them completely out. And if we need to, we'll send in the secondary general. So... that's why I'd be in favour of the Horde version, which, if you're unfamiliar, Horde mode just means when a nation loses its last settlement and it is allowed to go Horde, it won't be destroyed, and instead, like, depending on... I don't know how it calculates it, but essentially a few banner armies are created out of the remainder of that army, and they have something like 15 turns to take a new settlement. The problem with Horde mode is that it's cyclical. It never ends. So... if they manage to take another settlement within 15 turns, and you then take that settlement, they will then again go Horde, and it just never ends. So you need to... well, it does. You can defeat their army in the field. So once they've turned into a Horde nation, you can then just defeat them. That was a really bad idea. That was a really bad idea, sending the fellas in before we had other holes in the wall. Oh, I've not even thought about their reinforcements. Oh, bugger. Totally forgot about the reinforcements. Keep them in place. Keep them right where they are. Oh yeah, well they've just killed themselves. Idiots.
The battle is very much in our favor. Victory will be ours.
Get them in the rear.
We've
No,
captured
no,
the
no, no,
enemy's
no, no,
general.
no, no, no,
That'll
no,
teach the
no,
cowardly dog to turn
no.
tail and run.
You will not be joining in melee. Go on. What about the other unit that was coming? Are you running away? They're running away. Oh well, fine by me. Right, and then we'll send in what the best that we've got. There we go. Now it will be in our favour. Toon-Dime bodyguards are surrounded. They are armor piercing though, so do be cautious. Have you got any special powers? No, just rally. What on earth do they say? Oh! Ah! Hard ones. Toon-Dime bodyguard down to 23, 21. I got an invitation to play a game today, a game called Drop Zone, because I'm a YouTuber. And if I'm interested in showing Drop Zone on my channel, then they will allow me to have the game for free. However, it's a MOBA style game and I don't enjoy those. And also it doesn't line up with anything that I do. It just doesn't make sense. If someone is watching me because they like these slower strategy games with the Lord of the Rings knowledge, then they're not going to watch me play like a first-person shooter Star Wars game. Not that that's what it is, but like it's just that is a very different type of game. Is all I'm saying.
Half their men.
No, of course that may not be the thing. I would suggest that there are different types of people follow you on YouTube for either you. So there are people who follow me because of me, and they find me interesting no matter what I'm doing, what I'm saying, what I'm playing. They just want to hear me and speak and listen to me. And those people will, of course, normally follow you anywhere. So no matter what I did, they'd be interested and they'd watch. And then there are those who I think follow you for what you do. So, and this is quite apparent when YouTubers drastically change their focus. When they'll go from, like for example, I mean PewDiePie's too big to really count. He's an exception to the rule. But he obviously has recently stopped playing games really altogether. And he now just does like little video logs each day. But people follow him for him. So it hasn't drastically affected his viewing tallies. Whereas if people followed him for the games that he used to play, they would of course stop watching when he stopped playing those games. And I would suggest that my channel is watched maybe 60-40. I would say there are more people who watch me because of what I talk about rather than who I am, if that makes sense. Of course, I could be wrong. It's just, and there's still just a little theory of mine that I've been thinking of recently. That there must be, oh, balls to the wall. That was outrageous. At least it was the goblins. And as we are now all fully aware, goblins are just orcs. But for games like this where you need variety and you're scraping the barrel to find variety, then splitting up goblins and orcs is a very wise idea. Gonna catch that last man, or are we just gonna let him run around amongst us? There we are. No need to check. Like we need proper victories in order for someone to actually get the golden sword. Very strong, very brave. Kill them all. But get up. I've also been very interested. I've been reading all the comments on the lore video today while I've been at work. And it's been very interesting to me to read how much a discussion it has created, which I'm very, very pleased with. But it has. A lot of people have then have discussed the various different ways that orcs are created. Oh, you're totally right. Orcs can upgrade wooden castles. But, sorry, I'm going totally tangential. I'm splitting what I was saying originally. But what on earth is it then going to be? What model is that going to have? Because orcs don't get castles. Well, we'll find out, hopefully. Let's hope that we make some money soon enough and we can discover exactly what that's going to look like. But I can't see that looking very good.
Listen, get ready. No sleeping here.
What was I talking about? But no, so it was good to see all of the discussion and the people talking about the theories that they followed and could this possibly be the reason? Could that be the reason? And I like that. I think that was good. Although I must confess that I am a guy who prefers cold, hard fact. Possibly why I'm so drawn to lore, because there are things you can do and things you can't do, and I like that. So I think I probably would prefer if there was a solid theory, like this is what happened, in the same way that we know that the elves were created by Eri Iluvatar, they awoke a Kuivianen, and that is what happened. I think I'd probably quite like a similar sort of thing.
No sleeping here. Orcs.
Huskash really does look like a rat turned into a human.
Get ready for fighting.
Uglug and Zagag, why don't you guys join up, and then you can have a little raiding party and go and scout out Numinous, see what you can find out.
Listen up. Attack. Destroy them. Is that what you want?
What do they have? No, nothing really. Nothing too fit. 2 units of siege, and then as we saw last time, siege can actually be remarkably effective. Was that the Angmar video? Or was that the Woodland Realm video? It was Woodland Realm, wasn't it? You don't need to repair that if you're going to build it on the next turn. But then, are we going to build it? Like, are we actually going to get any resources here? What we do need to try and do is... yeah, we're just never going to get any. Like, if that army could die, that would be brilliant. Because this army is doing nothing but draining my income. And even if we take Thorin Swords, we won't hold it. And at the minute, with Captain Lithonian standing just on the other side, he's going to get involved if we do kick off. Ugh! What episode is this? 18. I will do hour-long ones when we reach the next solid 10. Which, of course, will be 20. Venti. I think that's all, really. We can end the turn and see what happens with the movement now that we've really crushed the Dunedain into themselves. In the last episode, or in episodes last week, I spoke about that I would do a faction vote for the future campaigns. And then about 10 comments or so were all about, oh, where is this vote? How can I vote? I want to vote now. And to all of those, I would say that you won't get the vote for ages. Not for a very long time. Not until any of these have at least finished. So, hold your horses. Oh, the Chieftain of the Dunlendings isn't doing very well, is he? The other one died only last turn. Oh, I tell you what, I would actually really like from Christ alive. Imladris, Havens and Dunedain have just suddenly decided that war is hot on their agenda. Something you can all do for me. I currently sit on an IKEA chair, and it's not proving all that comfortable, and it's not proving all that useful. And I would really like you to basically do my shopping for me. And if any of you have any suggestions of a really comfortable chair, it doesn't have to be a gaming chair, it just has to be a comfortable chair to sit in at a desk, but I'd really want the arms to go up and down. I need up and down armrests, because I have a pull-out section that my keyboard sits on. I don't have it up on the desk, and so it's lower than most desks, so the arms need to go very low. But I was looking for chairs that I could get. Bugger, they're coming. I was looking for chairs that I might be able to get. And like, there's just so much. There are so many, and you never know which ones are good, which ones are bad until you've sat on them. But the next best thing is asking what other people thought when they sat on them. So if you've got any good suggestions, or you know of any really cracking ones, then do let me know, because I'm in the market. But I think that's going to conclude today's episode. We hit our 30-minute mark quite nicely, and Bari Donionach is now being besieged. We will siege that out. I'm not going to risk fighting that army just for the sake of 4 turns. And that Breeland army is not going to be a trouble to us, even if there are some Dunedain in it. And we should be able to get to Knockford just in time so that we'll be present when he attacks us. So that's given us something. Oh, you're not even on low tax rate. Are you on low tax rate? Yes, you are. And you can not retrain anything. Oh, you can. It'll be ages until you actually train that. I can't remember when and why I gave orcs wooden castles. I must remember that, because in the Angmar overview video that I've recently done, I said the orcs can't get any castles. So I've lied outright to all of you. But that will certainly conclude the episode. So thank you very much for watching, if indeed you have. If you have any questions, pop them in the comments below. And until we speak again, dear friends, Navar Naden Pedemad Melunin, and farewell.